part of the Italian-speaking region of Switzerland, direction to Italy, and I'm really convinced this one should get a bit in complexity after pouring it in this beautiful decanter. The aim is once to enhance the aromas, to open the flavor, because we are really in a concentrated, sunny place of Switzerland, and at the same time to make the wine a bit more mellow in the tannin structure. As the wine is quite young, I won't use any candle. It's really just to open up the wine. And I think that's the most things to begin with. And this Rosso di Chiara is made out the typical grapes from the region. And what is particularly interesting is that actually the story behind this label, not only because the producing guy who stands behind this wine is one of our flagship main, one competent person in Switzerland what's wine and sommelier concern, Paolo Basso, who was best sommelier from Switzerland, best sommelier from Europe, and last title in 2013 in Tokyo, best sommelier of the world. And therefore he used the help of one of the best enologists in Ticino, Fred Di Martin. We helped him to blend, to select, and to help him to present these wines. Now for two other styles. We were in a red wine. Now I'll let you try, please, a Baccarat. Baccarat, a beautiful name which reminds the crystalness with the purity. We're talking about 100% Chardonnay. The sparkling method is a method traditionnelle. So that means the second fermentation has been made inside this bottle, and it remains a long time on its lees. And that's from one of the characteristic, really qualitative, let's say, cooperative wine producer from Geneva. And they source the wine from different areas in the canton of Geneva, but in this case, it's 100% Chardonnay. So here we are already coming from south, cross the road direction to the west, from Ticino to Geneva, and in between when you fly, let's say, you go through this region, from Neuchâtel. And here you have seen the light, beautiful orange, pale colors of a specialty. What's the fun thing here? Œil de Perry, that you can translate actually with the color of the eye of a beautiful bird from our mountains. And the producer is Neuchâtel, Château de Vernier, family Grosjean. You like it? So that's typically rosé wine made out of Cellier. And let's say it's something that has got really history, which belongs to the tradition of leisure, let's say, in Switzerland, weather in the mountains, very refreshing, very elegant wines. This is something which is really emblematic, this kind of rosé. So now, are you convinced with this beautiful blend? So this was just three of the most famous region in Switzerland. The thing is, you can also really, do you want to have I leave you the bottle here, just to see the way it opens. The other bottles have been opened and tasted before, so perhaps for you to check the cork. And so, we have been in the French-speaking part, à Genève, on parle français. Over there in Neuchâtel, that's mostly the border, cultural and linguistic also, but in Auvergne is still French, and Ticino is of course Italian. One other region of quality, you have throughout Switzerland, you have in this middle, all the German-speaking part of Switzerland, and one of these cantons is also shared in two parts, French and German-speaking, and I'm talking about the most important producing region with a beautiful valley, which is called Valais. Very easy to remember for you. Next time you order wine, I'll give you a tip. If you are not sure where you are and you want something great, you can go in white and red. That's very characteristic for Valais, and you can ask, challenge perhaps the person who is conselling you on wine, what have you got from specialty from Valais? And then you will see Ardvin, Amin, some beautiful, very old vineyard genetically belonging to the patrimony of Switzerland. And that will be Valais. And otherwise, another tip for you, if you have a bit more time during your stay, travel also at the east part, southeast. If you go to Grison, that's very emblematic this time for Pinot Noir. And just to make it simple, that's wine, climate mountain, cold climate wines that are very elegant, very fresh. You can have it, the French-speaking part of Switzerland used to say that Chasselas, which is not here, Chasselas you can drink from morning to the whole night. It's vin de soif, they call it over there. And not only, but it could be really appreciated at any time on the lakeside, in the mountain, on the ski slopes. You can really combine some great wine and leisure activity. That could be a great thing. And emblematic, so Chasselas in quantity, Pinot Noir, one of this version you have it with your rosé. And over there, if you go to diversity more than 160 grapes, some of them that you just can't find by us here, you can have them, you can enjoy them for themselves young. You can let them in the cellar. I'm talking about a nice red wine, which is quality of intensity. You can really manage it 10 years in the cellar. That's really something really possible. If you don't mind, if you don't need to have a look at the bottle, I would put them fresh in case you need a second glass. I will clean it and come back to you for water.